Alright folks, welcome back to Easy Sports TV with Gav at Easy Sports Inverness. And first episode yesterday we had a little bit of information about the supplements I'm using, why I'm using them, what I get out of that. One of the questions that came up in that was, do you actually eat some food with all that? Yeah, that's a short answer, definitely. So today I thought I'd give you a little bit of information about the solid food that goes in around those supplements that makes up the diet. What my philosophy overall is regarding diet for athletes, whether they be bodybuilders or purely cosmetic weight trainers or people training for sport, people training for function. The shortest way I can describe it, and what I always say to people, is that your diet consists of two things: dead animals and vegetables. As long as you're eating those, everything else is pretty much secondary. Now that's going to sound crazy because there's a lot of very complex diets out there. There's a lot of stuff written about, what you need to eat, what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating. Lots of different diets pitched up for different needs. I prefer to make it a lot simpler than that. Okay? You need protein, you need fats, you need vitamins and minerals, you need water. Everything else, it's take it or leave it depending on what your goals are. Okay? Now what is everything else? Well, everything else, things like, for instance, starchy carbohydrates, they're just an energy source. Okay? So when people say, the majority of your diet should consist of starchy carbohydrates, the things you should be eating the most of are pasta, rice, potatoes, this kind of stuff. That's a nonsense. It's an absolute, utter and total nonsense. The things that you should be looking at when you're trying to decide how much starchy carbohydrates are going to be in your diet are, what are your energy needs, and do you want to gain weight or lose weight? Alright, if you want to maintain your body weight where it is, then you need just enough starchy carbohydrate to cover your energy needs, and that's it, no more. You want to lose weight, you want to cut your carb intake down a little bit, allow your body to use its own fat for fuel, there you go, you're losing weight. If you want to gain weight, you want to increase your carbohydrate intake, take in enough that there's a surplus of calories, and your body weight will increase. It's just as simple as that. Carbs are just fuel. They're not the predominant part of a diet. They never should be. So, that said, what should be the predominant part of the diet? Well, it's those dead animals and vegetables. Alright? Between those two things, basically what you're getting are protein. Protein's essential for muscle growth. It's essential for tissue repair throughout your whole body. It doesn't matter whether it's regeneration of an organ, growing a new eyelash, blood cells, muscle tissue, everything in your body is made out of protein. Without protein, no cell turnover, no regeneration, certainly no growth. So we need an intake of protein in the solid food diet. The best quality proteins with the most full spectrum amino acid profiles tend to come from dead animals. Alright? We can chuck eggs in there as well. We can chuck fish in there. We can chuck, beef, pork, chicken, don't care what the animal is. If it had a face, it's probably good to eat. Okay? Next up on that list, vegetables. Vegetables give us vitamins and minerals. They give us soluble fiber. They give us insoluble fiber. Now, great thing about high fiber intake is it's going to keep your gut healthy. Okay? That's number one. If you're taking in a lot of protein, you're taking in a lot of calories, you're asking your body to digest a lot of food, it makes sense to have a reasonable amount of fiber in the diet just to help bulk out your gut, to help with the transit of nutrients, right? So that basically, when you poo easily, everything is comfortable, there is a flow of nutrients through your body, alright? If your fiber is too low and you're on a very high protein diet, things can get a little bit backed up, it's a little bit nasty. Obviously, longer term, there's bigger health concerns with, keeping the bowel healthy, keeping the colon healthy, and so on. Fiber is great for that. The other great thing about fiber, it can have a positive impact on your blood lipid profile. It can affect your cholesterol profile as well, especially beta-glucans, particular kinds of fiber. And in general, it's just too important to ignore. Okay, the vitamins and minerals side of things with the vegetables, I wouldn't worry too much about getting into trying to break down every meal and say, okay, I need exactly this much vitamin C, I need exactly this much vitamin E, I need exactly, and so on and so on. Okay, I would just suggest that as long as you're eating a reasonable amount of veg, fruits, mixed through the day, don't have to be too specific about it. Just make sure that across the course of a week you get plenty of it and you get a good variety thereof. Okay, the ones that are the most nutrient dense tend to be the most colourful ones. So particularly dark green vegetables, things that have a bit of things that have a bit of colour to them tend to have more nutrients. That's simple. So my actual meals just now, given that I'm trying to gain weight, consist of a bit of protein, a bit of fats. Fats are essential for hormone production. They are not the bad guy, they're the good guy, okay? And enough carbohydrate to keep my body weight increasing to cover my energy needs for training, and no more, okay? So right now, meal one, solid food meal, it's 100 gram of raw oatmeal. I mix that in with one of my shakes, one of my whey protein shakes. I have some raisins along with that. That's fine, okay? So we've got some protein in there. We got a little bit of simple carbs from the raisins. We got some more complex carbs from the oatmeal. At the same time, I take some of my EFA capsules. That gives me the fats in that meal. Boom, nice balanced meal, job done. Through the morning, I tend to rely on my supplement intake. Mid-morning, about 11:30, maybe coming into midday, I have my second meal of the day. Right now, it's 150 grams of chicken breast, a tin of tuna, a baked potato, and a large green salad. Now again, what you got in there, well, you got protein sources, you got some fats in there that are mixed in. I put some mayonnaise through that tuna fish, give me some fats. I take my EFA capsules there as well, so I'm getting some high quality omega-3s. I've got my salad there, it's a big green salad, lots of tomatoes, onions, all sorts of stuff going into that. So I can get my vitamins, my minerals, and my fibre from there. Next meal through the afternoon, to be honest with you, I tend to have a flapjack bar. It's convenient, it's nice and easy, based on oatmeal again, so we got oats coming in there, you got some fats in there as well, you got a little bit of protein in there, that's fine. Evening meal, just now with trying to gain weight, I basically in the evening I have what I call a free meal, okay? I don't pay too much attention to what's in it, as long as it's high calorie and it's high protein, that's fine. That gives me a little bit of freedom, I can sit down with my family, I can eat a normal meal. It's a nice thing to be able to do. Nothing worse than spending your whole life eating chicken breasts out of a Tupperware dish, okay? There's times when you have to do that, but when you're trying to gain weight and you're trying to get big and strong in a hurry, that's not the time for being too particular about the diet. As long as there's enough protein coming in that evening meal, as long as there's enough calories to cover my energy needs, it's fine, it'll do. Okay, so in summary, I'm big on veg. Through the day, evening meal, probably 300 or 400 grams of mixed vegetables in that meal for me alone. I have a big green salad through the day as well. So we're probably coming out somewhere about 750, 800 grams of veg a day. Protein wise, typically going to say that a serving of protein will be about the size of your palm of your hand. Okay. If you're trying to gain weight, I'd go up to 2 serves per meal. So that for me is going to be 2 small chicken breasts or 1 very large one, or about 10 ounces worth of red meat or steak, okay? So that should give you some idea of the portion sizes. The rest of that plate's going to be vegetables, fibre, and then if you need it, a little bit of carbs. Carb portions, I make a portion of carbs for the guys to be the size of your fist, alright? So, boom, it's not a big portion, okay? It's not a plate full of carbs with a little bit of protein. It's a plate full of protein and fibre with a little bit of carbs, okay? If your body weight's not increasing and you want it to, go up to 2 portions a meal and regulate it like that, alright? So that's like a little baked potato about the size of your fist, a scoop of rice about the size of your fist, a scoop of pasta about the size of your fist. They'll all give you around about the same amount of calories, not too wildly different, and it's a nice easy way to regulate it without having to measure everything. Okay, so that's a brief overview of my diet for gaining weight. Hopefully there's some things in there you can use yourself, and just keep going back to that key message, the things you need to focus on, dead animals and vegetables. And if you need the energy intake, go ahead and increase your carbs, but your diet for gaining weight should not be predominantly carbohydrate. It should not be like 80% carbs, 15% protein, 5% fats, or whatever the idiots out there in the normal kind of dieting world are recommending this week, okay? Protein first, fiber and fat second, carbs as an energy source if you need them. Alright guys, till next time, take care.